As we move past the age of 60, there's one undeniable truth. Our health becomes our entire world. Those aches and pains, the sudden bouts of fatigue, or a new prescription pill appearing on the kitchen counter, they're no longer background noise. They've become the main score of our lives. But I want you to imagine this pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Ancient wisdom calls this dukkha, often translated as suffering, but more accurately understood as the feeling of unsatisfactoriness inherent in existence. This body, as the Buddha taught, is like a guest house. We don't own it. We are only temporary inhabitants. The walls might crack, the roof might leak, the foundation might shift over time. What is our greatest mistake? It's resisting that truth. We suffer not because our knee hurts, but because we are clinging to the image of ourselves as the tireless mountain climber of our 30s. I've worked with hundreds of people over 50, and here's what I've observed. When you stop demanding that your body be otherwise, a miracle occurs. You are no longer your physical limitations. You are the space of awareness that witnesses those limitations. Pain is just the shaking of the guest house. Suffering is the mind's desperate cling to the stillness that has been lost. Release that attachment. Seek stability and peace in the one place age cannot touch your consciousness and your soul. Tuit voi de la bangit ting un chafen kit ban vimukdik, sung du nguyen jung diu treat li fa vakit lay. We've talked about the body as a guest house, but what about the reason to wake up every morning? The eighth truth, and perhaps the most severe, is this: purpose in life determines whether you survive or truly thrive. After retirement, when the old roles have vanished, when you are no longer the CEO, no longer the teacher, or no longer the daily caregiver, we are confronted with an empty question. Who am I now? What is my life for? Numerous scientific studies in the U.S. have revealed something striking: individuals with a strong sense of purpose. Now let's talk about a very dangerous mental trap that most of us risk falling into after 60. I call it the grumpy elder trap. Have you ever found yourself in this situation? The world outside is changing too fast. New technology, the way young people dress, new music, or differing cultural views. Instead of being curious, instead of trying to understand, we react with judgment and resistance. It wasn't like this back in my day. The world is going downhill. Nothing is as good as it used to be. When we close our minds, we reject not only the world, but also ourselves. Science confirms this. Losing a sense of purpose and maintaining a fixed mindset are strong predictors of cognitive decline. When you stop learning, you start dying, not physically but spiritually. The mind becomes a closed loop, replaying the same complaints and the same stories about a bygone past. Zen wisdom offers a powerful antidote: Shoshin, or the beginner's mind. I want you to imagine this. The beginner's mind is the ability to approach every moment as if you have never encountered it before. Even if you have lived 80 years, the moment right now is unique. This morning's cup of coffee is different from yesterday's. This conversation has never happened. Today's sunrise has never existed. A beginner approaches life with curiosity, not judgment. I recall the story of an aging Zen master renowned for his wisdom. Even in his 80s, every morning he would bow before the shrine and recite a line of scripture as if hearing it for the very first time. A young disciple asked him, "Master, why do you still practice as though you are a beginner?" He smiled and replied, "Because the beginner sees the world with wonder. The master only knows how little he truly understands. This is your choice after 60. You can be the person who complains about everything, or you can be the person who maintains curiosity about everything. Your relevance in these years is not determined by what you already know, but by your willingness to keep learning to ask questions and to listen more than you make pronouncements. How long have you let your beginner's mind sleep? Let's wake it up today. Let's move to the very first and perhaps most arresting truth we face after 60. Time is devastatingly short. When you are young, time is an abstract concept. It stretches out infinitely before you. But at this stage, after 60, time is no longer a river flowing forever. It becomes a finite resource counting down with every sunrise. The math is stark. If you subtract sleeping hours, health management, and basic necessities, the window for living fully becomes critically narrow. The conventional world sees this brevity as a tragedy, a lamentable loss. But Buddhist wisdom reveals the opposite. Time's brevity is not a tragedy. It is the very condition that makes life sacred. This is the essence of anicca, impermanence. Everything changes, everything ends, including this very breath, this very moment, and ultimately you. When the Buddha spoke of impermanence, he wasn't mourning loss. He was pointing towards the truth that nothing lasts and therefore everything is precious. The clarity of Maranasati. There is an ancient Buddhist practice called Maranasati, or death contemplation. To Western ears, it sounds morbid, but let me assure you, it is profoundly liberating. Contemplating our death is not about dwelling in darkness, it's about dwelling in clarity. When you truly understand that your days are numbered, that you have perhaps only 7,000 relatively healthy days remaining, you stop wasting them. I want you to hold this image in your mind. How many hours last month did you give to worry, to arguments that truly mattered to no one, to mindlessly scrolling through a screen leaving you emptier than before? The trouble is, we act as though tomorrow is guaranteed. We postpone joy. We wait for perfect conditions that will never arrive. But after 60, that illusion becomes harder to maintain. Your body is a daily reminder that you are temporary. This urgency is not meant to create panic. It is meant to create presence. When you know your days are limited, the taste of morning tea, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of rain against the window, these are not small things. They are everything. The fierce recognition of death is life's greatest gift because it forces you to wake up to the miracle that you are living right now. What joy are you postponing today that absolutely cannot wait until tomorrow? Let's address the quiet, sometimes painful reality that comes when you shed your professional skin. The shrinking of your social influence, or what I call the loss of external relevance. For decades, many of us defined ourselves by our roles. We were the doctor, the CEO, the professor, the master craftsman. Your value was clearly linked to your title, your salary, or the power you wielded in a meeting. When retirement hits, that scaffolding of identity is pulled away and the phone calls stop. The invitations dwindle, the emails vanish. The world, quite frankly, stops needing your former authority. This can lead to a deep sense of displacement and worthlessness. But Buddhist philosophy teaches us a profound truth that liberates us from this trap: interconnectedness. You see, the ego clings fiercely to separateness, to titles that define me as special and apart from others. But the deep wisdom of interconnectedness reveals that your true value has never been determined by your external power or title. Your true value lies in your presence, your kindness, and the wisdom you are ready to share. I want you to make a radical shift in your thinking. Move from being a master to being a mentor. Instead of focusing on being in charge, focus on being an example. When you were working, you commanded respect through your position. Now in your wisdom years, you command respect through your character. Your mission now is not to build a new empire, but to share your light. What lessons did you learn from failure? What stability did you gain from facing fear? Those experiences are priceless currency for the younger generations. This is the great exchange of aging. You trade the burden of authority for the freedom of authenticity. Your influence is no longer loud, it is quiet, deep, and far more transformative. How can you turn the quiet authority of your wisdom into a shared light for someone who is struggling with a path you've already walked? This is your new relevance. Let's now discuss the reality that many are often too ashamed to speak about: financial insecurity haunting most older adults. The statistics are sobering. Many individuals, through no fault of their own, due to systemic issues, rising healthcare costs, or unexpected crises, find the supposed golden years becoming years of quiet calculation and anxiety. Every expense creates stress. The fear of running out of money, of becoming a burden, can dominate consciousness. The culture we grew up in conditioned us to measure our worth through wealth. We are taught that value is quantifiable. Your net worth is your self-worth. When the money dwindles, the ego feels attacked, leading to profound internal suffering. But Buddhist wisdom does not dismiss material concerns. The middle way acknowledges that we need basic security, enough food, shelter, and care. When true poverty dominates fear, makes presence almost impossible. Yet this reality holds a profound key to liberation. This financial struggle forces us to ask the ultimate question: where does true wealth reside? I want to state this clearly. Your value as a human being is not determined by your bank account. The true transformation comes when we realize that financial wealth is merely one currency. There are currencies, far more valuable currencies, that aging cannot erode: the currencies of true wealth. 1. Equanimity. Suan Lak Trung Tum Hon. This is the ability to remain calm and balanced regardless of external circumstances, be they market crashes or unexpected bills. It is the peace of mind that understands I am safe regardless of my portfolio. 2. Kindness, long taught. This is a currency you can spend endlessly without depletion, offering a listening ear. A genuine smile or a helpful hand requires no capital, yet its return in human connection and inner satisfaction is infinite. 3. Contentment, Su Du Day. This is the simple acknowledgement that you have enough for what is essential right now. It is the wisdom to separate wants from needs and to find joy in the simplicity of basic necessities: a warm meal, a safe home, a healthy breath. When you focus on the wealth of your presence, your kindness, and your wisdom, when you shift from the need to provide financially to the desire to contribute spiritually, you discover a form of abundance that is truly invulnerable. In what non-monetary way are you truly wealthy right now? Recognize that wealth and spend it generously. Friends, let us now turn our attention inward to the terrain that is often far more challenging than our aging bodies or dwindling bank accounts: the landscape of our own history. As we slow down in our 60s and beyond, a profound shift occurs. The constant external noise, the demands of career, the chaos of raising children begins to fade. And as the noise fades, something else rises to the surface. I call them the ghosts of the past. These aren't literal spirits, of course. They are the unresolved burdens we carry, the stinging regret over a poor decision made 20 years ago, the shame from a harsh word spoken in anger, the deep throbbing hurt caused by someone else's betrayal that we've never truly healed from. These are the burdens that sit in the quiet cathedral of our hearts, draining our energy, not through physical effort, but through ceaseless internal replay. Have you ever sat alone in the afternoon sun and had a vivid memory flash back? A moment of failure, an unspoken apology, and felt a physical clench in your chest. That clench is the cost of unforgiveness, the energy drain of resistance. Think of your emotional energy like a battery. Every time you revisit an old grievance, every time you tell yourself, I should have done better, or they should have known better, you are wiring that battery to a small constant drain. Over decades, this cumulative resistance to reality, this insistence that the past should have been different, becomes a massive spiritual weight. This is a subtle yet powerful extension of dukkha, the suffering caused by clinging. We cling not just to permanence, but to the story of our own suffering. But we are at an age now where we simply cannot afford to waste the precious few years of vibrant health and presence we have left on holding these internal prisoners hostage. The past is fixed. The only thing you can change is your relationship to it. The radical compassion of metta. This is where the ancient Buddhist practice of metta, or loving kindness, becomes our most powerful tool. Metta is not a passive emotion. It is an active, intentional wish for the well-being of all beings. When we speak of applying metta, we are engaging in the grand act of forgiveness. I want you to think of forgiveness not as a gift you give to the person who hurt you, but as a gift you give to yourself. It is an act of enlightened self-interest. Forgiveness means two things at this stage. 1, self-forgiveness, reconciling with your younger self. We look back at our younger selves, the self who made the stupid financial decision, the self who was too busy to be present for their child, the self who struggled with addiction, and we often judge them harshly. We hold that younger self to the impossible standard of the wisdom we possess today. I want you to try this practice right now. Close your eyes and visualize that younger version of yourself. See them clearly, perhaps standing alone, struggling, trying their best with the limited tools, knowledge, and emotional maturity they had at the time. Now offer that younger self the deepest compassion. Say to them, I forgive you. You were doing the best you could with what you knew. You are worthy of love, then and now. This radical acceptance of your own imperfection is the key to unlocking an enormous reservoir of energy. You release the shame, and in doing so, you reclaim the power you lost to that regret. 2. Forgiving the others. Dissolving the anchor of blame. The second part is forgiving those who hurt you, the difficult spouse, the competitive colleague, the negligent parent. When you refuse to forgive them, you aren't hurting them. You are keeping the anchor of their actions firmly embedded in your own boat. They move on, but you remain tethered to the pain. Forgiveness is simply this: accepting that the past event happened exactly as it did, and choosing to no longer allow that event to control your emotional state today. It is a declaration of freedom. It is the realization that their imperfections are simply a part of their own dukkha and their own struggle. The truth is, everyone in your life, including you, has caused pain and experienced pain. This shared human condition is where our compassion, our metta, must begin. The grand release. In the words of the great spiritual teachers, unforgiveness is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Your age is your profound advantage here. You have the perspective, you have the stillness, you have the clarity of time running short. You have the ultimate motivation to declutter your internal life. The biggest release of energy in your later years will not come from a diet or a new exercise routine. It will come from the decision to finally completely forgive. When you choose metta, when you choose to apply loving kindness to the jagged edges of your past, you are not erasing history. You are simply closing the door on the emotional prison it built. You step out light and unburdened, ready to fully inhabit the beautiful, fleeting, and precious present moment. What piece of the past are you ready to finally put down? I urge you, for the sake of your remaining sacred years, choose freedom today. Choose metta, choose the grand forgiveness. If today's reflection resonates with you, you're welcome to support the channel by liking, sharing, or subscribing. Each small action you take is a source of energy that helps me continue creating mindful content for the @Buddha Essence Wisdom community.